In Aransas Pass, one man is facing animal cruelty charges tonight after a year-long investigation revealed more than 40 dogs living in deplorable conditions in kennels outside his home. Our Michelle Pedraza joins us live tonight with more on this story. Michelle?
Well, Joe, Richard Gonzalez was charged with 42 counts of cruelty to animals, plus an additional one when a 43rd dog was found. Neighbors here tell me that Gonzalez lived on this property here on Denipat Lane. According to Aransas Pass Police, Animal Control started an investigation into Gonzalez a year ago after complaints of his dogs being loose. That led to minor animal-related violations. And today, when another dog got out of his yard, an officer on the same case from last year responded and asked to do a follow-up. That's when they found 42 dogs living in deplorable conditions, both inside and outside of the residence. Some of the kennels packed with more than 3 dogs.
How could that person who obviously cares for dogs allow them to live in this type of condition? Is it mental illness? Well, we don't know. I don't understand how Mr. Gonzalez could live in this condition himself.
Police have made a referral to Adult Protective Services saying these are not conditions a human should be living in. The dogs will be receiving veterinary care. No word, though, on what will happen to them. Now, Gonzalez is being taken to the San Patricio County Jail, where he will be given the option to bond out. For now, live in Aransas Pass, Michelle Pedraza, 3 News.
Thanks.